My name's Shari and this is Practical Stitches, and somebody asked if they could have a tutorial on how to make these little tie pockets for their dresses for Project Dress a Girl. You might be able to see this a little clearer. So I did a tutorial and here it is. Hope you enjoy it. That's what your pattern should look like. One full piece. The grain line is here. Pay particular attention to this dot right here and this dot here and this dot here, because this part is going to be open between these 2 points, between this one and here. So this will be the inside of your pocket, and you leave this opening so you can turn it. So you need 4 pieces to make 2 pockets. So now you have to cut it out. Now that that's cut out, we are going to mark these locations and we are going to sew to there. Going to sew a little bit here and back stitch, and sew from here to here and back stitch. As you can see, we have sewn from here to here, here to here, and this little bit here. I just tacked that in place. That's not all that important. So I pressed these open. And this will be the whole side for turning later. So now we're going to take it and fold it on the fold line, which is this center right here. Whoops. So we're going to line up those 2 seams that we just sewn. So now you can start to see where the tie is going to come in. So there you will have your tie. So now we are going to sew. I usually start here. I'm going to sew all the way around. I'm using a 5/8 seam allowance. I'm going to start here, sew all the way around the bottom into here. We're also going to sew here to here, pivot, so all the way along here, right up to where we stopped stitching before, of just the one side, lining them up. To our little mark that we have right here. And same on the other side. We're going to sew from our dot all the way to here. So as you can see, it's a little awkward, but we sewed here. We lined up those two seams that we sewn first, and sew here all the way down to our dots. So if I turn it this way, so there was a dot here, so to here. You're going to have to put a little couple of clips in here and make sure you backstitch because there's going to be stress on this area. So we're going to put in a little clip there. Making sure only to snip into, see already that's laying a little bit flat. So now we have to do the same thing to this side. I think it was harder to see earlier. So you sew here, pivot, and sew down to this. If we do that, we're going to trim all our seams, clip our curves, and I will show you what that looks like in a minute. As you can see, we have all our seams clipped, all the clips in at all our curves, trimmed our corners, clipped. Now we're going to turn it inside out. All your seams are open, then we're going to press it. I just run my finger along here to make sure we get a nice shape. And we're going to press it. You're going to want to slip stitch this opening closed and give it a good press. So now it's starting to look like a pocket. So you can then top stitch across here, down here, all the way around, top stitch to give your ties a little more security. So then you can tie your pocket. Until you're happy with the look of your tie. So now you need to attach it to the dress, and then you would top stitch it to your dress. And when I put my pocket on, I kind of squish it together a little bit instead of doing it flat. So the simplest way for me to get you the pattern for this cute little pocket is for you to send me an email. It is 2 pages and it is in PDF format, and I printed it off, so this is exactly what it'll look like when you receive it. It's 2 pages. So I just cut this piece of the page off along the fold line and line it up and tape it together, and there's your pattern. It's exactly the same as the one I showed you earlier. It was just traced on tissue paper. So that is the easiest way for me to get you this pattern. Very simple. The settings on my printer, it just fit to printable area and it worked no problem. I didn't have to make any adjustments. So that is the simplest way for me to get that to you. It's just regular letter size paper. Lastly, just a little tip. So it's probably good to get the pattern this way, because if you want to do your pocket like this one with a different colored lining, you have to cut 4 of this size. So all you have to do is add a seam allowance after the fold line and cut 4 of these, so they will look like this, 2 of each. So when you sew it together exactly the same way, you just have an extra seam to do later. So you start it off the same way, where this is going to be the lining. So this was the lining side with the opening in it, like we talked about earlier. So you will sew that together, and then when you press them open, easier to show you this way. So I sewed this together, and these ties up out of the way. So right sides together. There's my lining piece with the hole in the middle. And we're just going to so you'd sew it as before, you just have this line up here. This is your stitching line along here. Still sew all the way around. And then you will have a pocket with lining on the other side. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope this helps you in your future project Dress a Girl making. Take care, everyone. Bye.